Welcome, our virtual water cooler friends, to the 28th episode of Into the Filmverse. What is Into the Filmverse, you ask? Well, that's a great question. It's a movie fan podcast covering all types of film content, including movie news, new releases, and a variety of past releases. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today we are discussing breaking film news, various content we watched throughout the week, and the 1980s classic romance film Can't Buy Me Love. If you want to see our reviews for the films we talk about today or get our thoughts on other movies, be sure to join us on Letterboxd, the social network for film lovers. You can find me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and Mytch is spelled with a Y, so that's M-Y-T-C-H.
You can find me, Bryce Payne, at Payne Reviews, P-A-Y-N-E Reviews.
Before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we're going to go off the top with some recent movie news. And as we like to do, we're going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, the newest episode, that would be episode 5. So if you haven't seen that, just skip ahead a few minutes and to avoid some spoilers. So, Bryce, what did you think of episode 5? I know you just got done watching it here this evening.
I know, I was really behind.
You were a little behind. It's almost episode 6 now.
2 days till the finale!
Let's go!
As a record, I mean, by the time people hear this, it's over. All the shit's already going to be known. But
exactly.
You'll
get our reactions next
fine.
week. You'll get our reactions to the finale next week. So.
No, I thought this episode was pretty cool. I mean, I will say it doesn't have much in the sense of, building onto what I've already known.
Sure.
I don't mean to say that. I mean, it's more like you told me, it's more like Falcon coming to grips with, all right, I'm going to become Captain America.
Yeah, that's what this whole series, at least this episode, really just wrapped around my head around, that it was just about Sam deciding that he can and will be Captain America.
I will point out the fight scene at the very beginning. Fucking loved it.
Yeah, they broke Party City Cap's arm, and then
that shit had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's the shield over Falcon, he's gonna kill him. He's like, I am Captain America. I'm like, oh my fucking god, this fucking dude.
Yeah, honestly.
And then they broke his arm, and then the one thing where I was like, oh shit. Is when Bucky picked him up and was spinning him, and Falcon came in and drop kicked him.
Yep,
and I was like, that dude's fucking back is broken. That fucking hurts.
It was cold. It was cold.
One of the most memorable parts of this episode, and I think one people are going to be talking about a lot. There's a couple things. First off, Zemo getting taken away by the Wakandans.
Sure, going to the raft. Sure, he'll be there for a total of 5 minutes.
But that scene is very monumental for Bucky as a character. He's learning to let go.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Because you see him drop the bullet. He had the bullets with him, and you see him drop them and just be like, "I'm above this."
Oh yeah, yeah. He's taking the hero.
Very reminiscent of T'Challa at the end of Civil War, being like, "You have let vengeance consume you.
Yeah.
I will not let it consume me."
That's a good point. I like that.
It's fucking parallel there. I'm like, "Oh shit." Another one of my favorite scenes is Isaiah Bradley talking to Cap.
Yes, I love that too.
I call Cap, but
he's pretty much Captain.
He's Captain America, but Falcon. I mean, he talks to Sam,
Sam,
and he's like, "They will never let a black man become Captain America," and you can see his face that he doesn't want to accept that.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
He's told him straight up. He's like, "I used to be you, and they will never let a black man be Captain America." And then Sam's face looks at him like, "You want to fucking bet?"
No, I mean, I really think he was taking it to heart because he's because everything he's led to believe in the America he's grown up in, that is a possibility.
Yeah, he's a veteran who helped disabled vets and everything, and then he sees this veteran who was abused,
but he understands
fucked
because
up for 30 years.
Honestly, it's a brilliant. It's just something that I wouldn't have expected to see in a Marvel, not Marvel or comic book. Just something so real and authentic and just true to, just so reflective on society. It's what the comic books were built off of, but just as far as seeing it actually happen in front of you on a screen is just, it's just kind of wow, they really are saying something here. I love it.
Yeah, I really like the parallels between John Walker and Isaiah Bradley because they're both vets,
right?
But the only difference is one of them is white.
Yeah,
and you can see how being abused by the system has fucked up.
And I like that because he's talking with Sarah later, and you could see Sam is talking with Sarah later, his sister, and he's like, "Look, I understand and I appreciate what Isaiah went through, but I can't let that define me." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Well, not even that to define me, but he's saying if I let all of that influence, what? Oh, I'm trying to say is the sacrifices that they made. What would that have been for if he doesn't take up the mantle? He didn't say that specifically, but that was implied. He was taking the mantle of Captain America.
I love the scenes with Bucky helping him build the boat.
Yep, that was very just bromance. I love that.
It's they're I don't want to call them best friends, but they're the closest the people are right now in the Avengers family.
You know,
other than Guardians, but they don't count.
Two like small scenes that are small snippets in this episode that made me really just like sniffle up a little bit is when the kids are playing. Sarah's
they're playing with the shield.
They're playing with the shield, and then the second one is when the other kid is like touching the shield, looking up to Uncle Sam, and like to me that was just I don't know. Man.
It's like when Black Panther's movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And you had all the like African American kids like suddenly had like a superhero to look up to, and like all the fucking like the murals and shit where they show like the pictures of the kids like looking at the mural, like the Black Panther mask on, role model, man. So when he's sitting there looking up at his uncle and his like smile is that huge fucking grin, and that Sam's looking at it like, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
Yep, exactly.
That's powerful, man.
It is powerful, very powerful. I love it, and obviously we didn't get to see the suit this time from Wakanda, but
fucking hyped for the suit. I was like, when the scene was happening, I was like, they're not gonna show us the suit till next episode.
I'm waking up to see it at like 2 a.m. I'm just gonna get up and I'm gonna watch it.
I am so excited to see the wings and everything, and see like the stuff that Sam can do with the shield while he's flying around.
I'm so hyped, bro. I'm so
because we thought Cap was really good with his agile, but now he's got the sky. Like,
yeah, exactly. He doesn't have super soul. He doesn't have the super serum, but he has the sky, and I think that's all that matters. So it'll be fun.
I have the high ground.
So yeah, that was episode 5 of Falcon Winter Soldier. Lots of fun. Super looking forward to the finale. I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen it by now, but otherwise, check in next week so we can talk about that. Some other fun news here in the world of Marvel. Alfred Molina was confirmed that he is coming back as Dock Ock in the new Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, he's so lucky this is a Sony production and not Marvel, because Marvel would have sent like somebody over there to assassinate him.
Oh, I know. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's like the worst kept secret in Hollywood that I'm in this film. But he kind of laid it out for everybody that so we gotta remember that what he said is that this was based on early conversations with the director of No Way Home. But the whole idea is that he's gonna pick up right out as he fell in the water in Spider-Man 2.
Okay, but you gotta love this though, because we also we had Electro. Like Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx. I was like James. What the fuck is his name? No, it's Fox. Jamie Foxx confirmed as Electro.
He's coming back. Yeah.
You have all those rumors circulating online about like Green Goblin and then like fucking Killer Croc. I'm starting to think, well, Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. That's a rumor going around. If they're pulling like one villain from each Spider-Man movie,
I'm pretty sure Killer Croc's from Batman.
Oh, Killer Croc.
The lizard.
The lizard. I mean, the same fucking character.
I mean, they really are.
But yeah, so we got the lizard and like fucking Green Goblin's like rumored, and
yeah.
I heard rumors about Topher Grace possibly coming back for a cameo as Venom. I was like, what the fuck is happening in this film? Like, are they?
I mean, it's a multiverse of madness.
They're,
so
they're just like looking at like, hey, do you remember that movie that no one liked, Amazing Spider-Man 2? Yeah. We could fix that character, that villain. We can make him better.
Okay, here's what I like about this though, is that it's kind of like validating all those other films, because a lot of people say, well, I like this Spider-Man better than this Spider-Man, but they're all in the same universe now. So
now they're like, yeah, our ticket sales weren't that great for Amazing Spider-Man 2. Well, now you got to fucking watch it.
Exactly. Go back and watch them. So that's
awesome. I will say I'm super excited because if the rumors are true about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming into the second act.
Man, okay, but here's the thing.
We know Andrew Garfield. We saw the links, the merch that they gave at the end of the production of the film.
True.
That had Andrew Garfield's suit. The only thing we don't fucking have confirmed is Tobey Maguire.
Okay, but they're not going to have the villains from the other two ones and not have... Like, that would be the biggest tease in the world, and people would be pissed off.
They're just like, are you coming? Dr. Strange's like, you coming? He's like, nah, bro, I'm retired. Just fucking leave.
I'm not gonna lie. If the other two Spider-Men are in this film, I'm gonna be kind of mad. Like, because there's no way you have all these rumors this whole time. And I don't have expectations for films like a lot of times, but I will for this one, like, because I actually specifically try not to have expectations when I go into films, but on this specifically I will, because there's been so many rumors and it's been talked about for almost a year or two. Plus they had confirmed Jamie Foxx as Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they've confirmed that Alfred Molina is the same Dock Ock from Spider-Man 2. In that being,
there's too many coincidences for it not to be true at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not in there and they just have the villains from these universes, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, I'm gonna be a little mad.
And I know we're not going to touch on this because we're kind of confused about how this whole distribution. Oh my god, I can't.
Distribution.
Yeah, that word. How the rights are working, but Sony struck a deal with Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely talk about this
for the Marvel
when I get
films.
Right, exactly. I mean, Yeah, I mean, so Sony had made a deal with Netflix, but then they also just made a deal with Disney Plus about some I think there's like some sort of like it. See, honestly, I'm still not even sure.
It's so
but
confusing because it's like Netflix gets the films after 9 months after the
Plus,
theatrical release.
I think they get the first option to buy films if Sony wants to make them for for streaming only.
Now, see what I would be okay with is if Sony made a deal with Disney Plus to be like, you can have our Marvel films.
Yeah, that's what that makes sense.
And that would make sense in my mind because if they're gonna make No Way Home,
but it was other pieces besides that.
Multiverse, you know, but
right,
the big one's Spider-Man. Let's just be honest, because MCU.
No, I know, but my whole point was like, no, and you're right with like the multiverse. Like, it would
the
make
multiverse
sense.
thing, then they need to have if people want to have the complete story for No Way Home. And they haven't seen like the original Spider-Man trilogy,
or
they made Spider-Man 2, and if Venom somehow connected due to
maybe.
Morbius, and they need to have this distribution deal. Otherwise, people are just going to be like, "What the fuck is happening?" Especially younger people, because you got to think the MCU is over 13 years old now.
Well, no, see, and that would make sense. That would make sense if it was just strictly for like the Marvel pieces, but it seems like it's more than that, and that's why it's like I don't know what's going on with that. But
I'm gonna focus on the Marvel because that's like what I care about, and I don't understand shit else. But I could see them being like, you guys can have distribution rights for like Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Maybe Spider-Man 1, 2, Venom, Morbius. That way, it's all in one place.
I'll be interested
for
to
the
see
ultimate MCU experience.
I'll be interested to see the PlayStation production ones where those go.
That's fair.
Like,
I'm just interested to see how a movie from 2001, Spider-Man, is going to be relevant to the shit happening in the MCU now.
It's awesome. I'm so excited.
And it's like, you remember that movie you liked as a kid in 2004? You know, that really cool Spider-Man 2 with Dock Ock and shit? Yeah, now it's relevant again.
You're just like, what?
It's like, we love it. It's not like made, but now it's like, oh shit, it's coming back.
Avengers Endgame fucked. Like, if that happened, man, this is just about to pop off. I'll just say that right now.
We all thought Endgame was the biggest event in history, and then they're like, Sony's over here.
Spider-Man in one film, 3 Peter Parkers from all across generations of loving Spider-Man. Yo, this shit is about to go ham.
Sony's like, we can do better.
Yo, they don't even know.
Then they like bring in like the other, like, I know they're thinking about the Silk movie. Dude. And like the Spider-Verse is coming. The Spider-Verse is its own fucking thing. The MCU is gonna get buried.
Not only is there's 3 Spider-Man, right? Which crazy. But not only that, but it's coming off the heels of people not going into theaters, right? And we just saw that Godzilla vs Kong.
Dude, my wife and I went to the theater like 2 days ago to go see Voyagers. We'll talk about that later. But like, the fucking place was packed.
Yeah, that's
like, I was driving up and I was like, "Oh, they say movie theaters are dead, huh?" Like,
get this. Okay, so the last Godzilla, whatever the last Godzilla vs Kong film was, I know it was like, I think it was Kong or was it Godzilla? I don't know.
King of Monsters.
King of Monsters. That film, I think, made $300-something million in theaters by the time it was done in its theatrical window. Godzilla vs Kong has crossed $400 million. And that is with you could see it at home on HBO Max. That's with it being limited capacity in theaters, and not all theaters are open around the world.
Theaters going to live,
bro. I'm just
this
saying,
just proves
people
that
are
like
trying to get back.
The biggest issue with the theaters having their money problems is the fact that the distributors, like the studios and shit, weren't releasing their stuff.
Right.
They were like, postpone.
I get
postpone.
It.
And then Universal's over here, or is it Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers over here, like, Godzilla vs. Kong theater release. And everyone's like, oh shit, a good movie? Fuck. Meanwhile, they've been getting things like The Last Shift, fucking Words on Bathroom Walls, which isn't a bad movie, but you know what I mean. Like, they're getting these like low, I don't want to say low budget, but these low films. And not, like, if they were released alongside a lot of these major releases, wouldn't be getting nearly as much traction. And now it's like, we're getting movie releases back. Like, Black Widow's in fucking 3 weeks. Like, no, it's in June. It was supposed to be 3 weeks. It's supposed to be. But we got like Mortal Kombat coming out. We got
so hype.
There
Mortal Kombat.
Are so many movies in the next like month that is just like,
actually, speaking of
movie theaters gonna be popping.
Mortal Kombat have to come out by the time you guys listen to this, but I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah, it comes out this Friday that we're recording.
Yeah,
and I'm watching that when it comes out. I might not watch it in theaters because I'm like whatever about it. I'm not like on the edge of my seat like, oh shit, Mortal Kombat. But I'm like,
I gotta get my ass back in the theaters. It's been like a month. Well, wait. Well, when did Godzilla vs Kong come out?
I'll see with my wife. We might end up seeing it in theaters. It depends. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit at home and fucking watch it.
Speaking of fun stuff, more Marvel, Shang Chi trailer. If you guys are excited for Shang Chi, or Marvel in general, Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings comes out in September. The trailer just dropped for it. Bryce, I'm gonna get your thoughts on it.
I wasn't impressed, and okay. So here's I think this is where I'm coming from. I just spent a whole year without Marvel films, if this trailer had dropped like December of 2019, like already during the dry spell for me, where it's like Far From Home was the last one released, no Marvel films slated until fucking March, which that's a long time to wait when you think about Marvel at the time. And now it's been over a year, and I'm just like, whatever. I haven't seen Black Widow yet. I don't care. Like the hype isn't there for me because the MCU hasn't restarted. There's zero buildup for me. There's no like, what's gonna happen? It's just like, cool. I got WandaVision and like 5 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm not hyped for this yet. Like I haven't had a movie release in a year and a half except the New Mutants. I don't know what you want from me. Like,
oh, that's bad. Yeah, that's a good point. No, I mean, okay. As far as I'm gonna start. As far as the base trailer goes, I'm not. It was entertaining. It's not.
It reminded me a lot of Rey and the Last Dragon. Some of the scenes in it.
I don't know about that, but
I would
didn't
say
see that, but...
since it's the real Mandarin, I'm so fucking hyped. But now I know that we all know it's the 10 Rings, right? It's in the fucking title,
right?
How is Tony Stark gonna come into this? Because he's gonna, because they're the ones that kidnapped him in Iron Man. It's gonna get brought up.
I was just gonna say his name. Yeah, they probably will.
They're gonna be like in 2008 when we kidnapped Tony Stark. I'm like, fucking shit, god damn it,
Tony again. Now, but
every movie in Phase 4 is gonna be somehow Tony's fault.
Oh my god, I mean, probably. But the reason I'm super excited for this first is because Simu Liu, the guy that plays Shang Chi. He plays a character named Jung in Kim's Convenience, a cool sitcom, Canadian Asian sitcom, which is pretty awesome. I like that a lot. Korean. Yeah, it was Korean.
And then there was Aquafina in it.
And then Aquafina, which I love Aquafina.
I like Aquafina. I just felt like her character, like she only got 2 lines in this trailer, when they were, "Who are you?"
And she was in basically the whole trailer first, though. She was in the whole trailer, like from the beginning all the way throughout the end.
Yeah, but she only had 2 lines, and then it gets me confused because you see the flashback scenes where he's like doing his own shit, right? And she's there, but then you see her on the train, and she's like, "Who are you?" And I was like,
dude, no, she was saying, "Who are you?" Because I think she was friends with him, and he just did like some martial arts she's never seen.
Who does like Mytchel? You do some kickflips right now, and I'm gonna be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, bro,
you would though.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, "When the fuck did you learn that?" I want to be like, "Who are you?" Like what? Like, what do you mean? Who are you? Like, you just saw you chilling with him in the convenience store and shit and being friends, and then you're like on the bus, you're like, "Who the hell are you?" It's like, well, you're my friend. Like, I'm sorry you didn't know I could do a fucking backflip in a fucking subway. My bad.
Okay, fair. All right. I mean, okay, I get your point on that. Okay, but still,
did you see the surprise cameo in the trailer though? On the bus. Remember the guy in Spider-Man in Homecoming who's like, "Do a flip."
Was he in that?
He was in the bus.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
I was on
Spider-Man, do a flip.
I was on TikTok and this guy's like, "No one's talking about the most important cameo in this Shang Chi trailer." I was like, who did I fucking miss? And it was like that guy right there, and it's straight up the same fucking dude. And I was like, why? Like,
connected.
Out of everybody you could pick to be a cameo, you're like, that guy's gonna be the new Stan Lee cameo.
Oh my god. Lots of fun though. Lots of fun. Obviously, we need to get a little bit more hype going for Marvel again before we.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'll probably be more excited once I get Black Widow and they start introducing like that Contessa woman, which we didn't talk about.
Oh right. We did.
The surprise cameo was someone named Contessa, who apparently is Madam Hydra in the comics, and was supposed to make her debut in Black Widow.
She's dope. I thought she was cool in that.
I was like, fuck, she's kind of intimidating. Like, she's like the Nick Fury of the Hydra. Like,
I'm like,
fuck.
I'll follow you wherever you want, madam. Like, let's go.
But she was supposed to make her debut in Black Widow, so I'm sure like once Black Widow comes out and like shit starts getting more intertwined with like Taskmaster and all this other shit, and we get more into like the movie side. Once I see Black Widow in theaters, I'm all for Shang-Chi. I will be all over. I'll be like, let's fucking go. Yeah. Shang-Chi, September. Let's go, man. But until then, I'm like, I haven't seen a movie since July of 2019 in the MCU. I don't care. Like, I'm not hyped. I got nothing out of this.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it and I was like, yep, this is a Marvel film. Let's go. I mean, I'm just ready. Let's just give it to me.
Speaking of Marvel.
Speaking of Marvel,
they released a trailer for MODOK.
Oh, you sent me that, and I was like, this is my least favorite character in every single iteration of any comic book thing ever.
But,
I hate him.
Okay, but like, have you seen Harley Quinn, like the HBO Harley?
I like that show.
That's kind of what this reminded me of.
I know,
and I'm like, it's Marvel, and Iron Man shoots him in the back of the head in the trailer, and he's like, Iron Man. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you in the back of the head. I was trying to literally aim for any other part of your body.
God, well, there isn't. He's just a giant floating head.
I'm so fucking. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but like I'm gonna probably check out the first episode because it kind of reminds me like Rick and Morty meets Harley Quinn.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I'm interested, but I'm like, you guys canceled the Ghost Rider TV show for MODOK to be the only one left? Like,
Yeah,
I would
man.
have seen Robbie Reyes fucking driving his car around fucking Los Angeles any other day of the week, and I would have been fucking excited as fuck. But you kept MODOK, the anime.
Nah.
MODOK. And I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but there was like a Howard the Duck show coming in that might have canceled that. But if that gets released and fucking like Ghost Rider got canceled, I'm done. I'm not like flip a fucking table.
You should. I mean, they should need. Yeah.
I'm like, Robbie Reyes was like the only reason I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and his show got canceled after like 2 months of it being announced, but they kept MODOK.
But
I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige was like, yeah, that shit's not gonna be in the MCU anymore. And they're like, but we already greenlit it. They're like, get rid of it.
Just
cut
get
it.
rid of it.
Well, what about MODOK now? It's an animated show that doesn't need to be in the MCU. It's chill. You can keep MODOK and Howard the Duck, but you can't have any more live action.
Oh my god. So if you guys like Mad Max, the Furiosa prequel, Chris Hemsworth just joined that.
What about my dude?
Well,
What about Tom Hardy?
Oh no, he's not gonna be in this.
I know. I just like, who the fuck is Chris Hemsworth gonna play in Mad Max?
I mean, it's really not a Mad Max. It's a Furiosa. It's a prequel called Furiosa. So
Well,
you
I know that, but if he's not like the bad guy, like riding around in a giant car with fucking speakers and shit everywhere, I'm not gonna be happy with it. Like if he's gonna be like the hero love interest, and I'm gonna be like, Furiosa don't need no man. She fucking cut your dick off. Like you don't need you.
I don't know, but Chris Hemsworth, good talent, good guy.
This
good
is one of
talent,
those movies because I liked Mad Max Fury Road, but if Furiosa does not need a love interest, and if he's a love interest, I'm gonna hate it. Because like Furiosa is a strong, independent woman that needs no goddamn man, and she can hold this movie on her own. She does not need a love interest.
Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna be played, but I mean, it'll be interesting to find out.
Better not be a love interest. I'll be mad. I'll be
I
like,
hope not.
you shoehorning that shit in is not needed. You do not need Furiosa to have a love interest.
Exactly.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see if they said anything about it. You can go on to the next thing.
So Michael Keaton was confirmed to be in the Flash. And speaking of the Flash with Ezra Miller, it actually started production.
Yeah, when Shang Chi got his trailer dropped, they're like, "Oh, by the way, guys,
They did.
the Flash."
Yeah, Shang-Chi trailer dropped. An hour later, the Flash was like, "Hey guys, we started production. Just so you guys know, the Flash actually gone in production." And then the next day, they were like, "Hey, yo, Michael Keaton is Batman. Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back to play Batman in the Flash." So fun stuff. I mean, I think it's cool just to see like that they're bringing in more multiverse. It's so weird to see how each of the like
Anya Taylor-Joy, you know the Magic from New Mutants, she's gonna be in. She's Furiosa too.
How dare you refer to her that? She's Queen's Gambit or
I've seen
Peaky
Queen's
Blinders.
Gambit, so that doesn't mean shit to me.
Horrible. You should see that. It's a good film or good stuff.
Apparently, the Australian, I was gonna say the Australian government or Australian people think that Furiosa is gonna be the biggest film ever made there.
It is because it's I don't know. They got tax credits and stuff like that. It was pretty early and that's kind of cool. But so Michael Keaton joined, but it's weird to see how they're doing the multiverse in DC.
So Anya Taylor-Joy is taking over for Charlie. He's Darren. That's Furiosa.
I think so.
I don't really like that.
Pretty cool.
I like to. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable because now I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because like maybe she doesn't need a love interest now. I don't fucking know. Like
You know,
go ahead if it's gonna be that far back, she can have one. She's not built yet. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Mad Max is like on the bottom of my list as far as interest of
I've only seen the first and Fury Road and Fury. If it's like Fury Road, I'm gonna be fucking down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've only seen Fury Road actually. So the newer one.
Yeah,
with
as
Tom
long
Hardy.
as it's Fury, as long as it's like the action like Fury Road and just like wacky shit, I'm 100% down.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about
So multiverse, Michael Keaton, the Flash, all that. It's just crazy to see that they're doing the multiverse in DC and in Marvel at the same time.
I just want to think that Michael Keaton was like the second to last person they were going to choose to be Batman again. They were they're like Christian Bale, please. He's like, nah, bro, I'm done. And he's like, fuck.
But no, but they said that they're in talks with Christian Bale, and they're in talks with Ben Affleck, and they're in talks with maybe even Robert Pattinson to come in. It's like a multiverse thing. They might even have them in there.
I just like all their like I don't want to say all there, but like the biggest thing that's going to happen from them making the multiverse in movies is the older movies are going to get more traction from younger audiences.
Yeah,
because like
yeah, you're right.
You didn't see Michael Keaton's Batman until this year.
Yeah, I don't like it,
but you know, like you didn't see it.
True,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
for me, I grew up with it. So like to see like this film and like all the other Batman films possibly getting more traction because they're like, let's bring it in for like the older audiences to have something to grab onto while watching these newer DC films. And then kids are gonna watch this and be like, "Who the fuck is that?" And their parents are gonna be like, "You don't know who that is? That's my Batman." And then they're
I'm
gonna go
gonna
home
show
and
you
be
my
like,
Batman.
they'll be like, we're gonna watch Batman, and the kids are gonna be like, they're introducing people to new shit.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I'm so fucking down with that.
Because it validates everybody's opinion now by having
They're
these.
like, there is no best one. Every single one's important.
Exactly.
You thought Andrew Garfield sucked as Spider-Man, but now he's important.
So the our Khaleesi herself, the breaker of chains. I wanted to name off all the things she is, but I forgot from.
That's a
Game of
lot, so
Thrones.
don't worry about it.
I know. I forgot to look it up. So, but Emelia Clarke, she joins Secret Invasion. That's the Marvel's Nick Fury show, basically. What we'll call it. It's the
How much
Disney
you want to
Plus.
bet that Madame Hydra is going to be in Secret Invasion? Because apparently that's a big part of her character, and that is that storyline.
Yo, what if Emelia Clarke is like her? I don't know. I think I like Emelia Clarke. It's kind of like evil. It's cool. But anyways, it's just cool. They added talent. That's pretty much the main thing.
I'm just excited because like all these shows are starting to come together, but like at the same time they keep announcing more shit, and I'm like, we haven't got anything you've promised us yet.
Exactly.
You keep making more stuff, but I'm not getting any of it.
Yeah, no, just give me some content and we'll talk.
I'll
So
be chill with whatever you want. Just give me something. Like just give me something. And then they're like,
it's trickling down.
then
It's
they're like,
trickling.
WandaVision, and I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, what's next? Fucking the Winter Soldier. What's next? You're not getting shit
You're
till
like-
like June.
Yeah, just wait a month or two and you get Loki, and then
You know, some making of features. You know, it'll be pretty
Some making of
here
features.
you go, and you're like, I thought Black Widow. They're like, nah, we waiting on that. You gotta wait another month. But we were supposed to have Black Widow, have time to chill off from Black Widow, then go to Loki, and then go to Shang Chi, and then go to more film, and then go to like, no, you gotta wait a month. You gotta chill.
You gotta
Rewatch
chill.
everything. Like,
you like breathe, my son, breathe.
I just want movies.
So, with that down, we're gonna venture on to some of our weekly movie watches. Bryce, what kind of films did you watch this week that you wanna touch on?
I watched a lot of movies.
You did.
I did. I think I would say like 24 of them I don't count as movies. I'm gonna just talk about this because I'm probably gonna upset some people if they know who he is and they like it. Stan Brakhage is a director that died like 10 years ago or whatever, but his films are terrible. I hate them.
Oh, are these the little colors that you were showing me?
Yeah, the little light things. I finally got to his number in the Criterion Collection, and I fucking hated every single minute of my day. Because I watched 4 hours of colors.
You sent me one of them, and I watched it, and I was like, "This is." I mean, okay, it was like not. It's not a film. It's nowhere even close, man. So if you're out there thinking that's a film, like
It's literally 2 minutes of
Stop.
just flashes on colors, and all I could think about was like, man, epilepsy warning. Am I right?
I mean, it was very. I mean, it was still like fun to watch. I mean, like as far as just like if you sat down and watched one of them, it's just like it's like
It's not bad, but I watched
gentle on the eyes.
4 hours straight of just fucking flashing on a
Nah.
TV screen, and I was like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it's kind of like Rorschach chest or Rorschach chest.
The mask and shit, yeah, dude, it's whack. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. I will start off. I'm going through my diary because I watched like 30 films last week.
Okay.
After we watched Castaway last week, I watched. I'm just gonna bring this. I watched the I Am Curious box set. Fuck those movies. They're horrible. I hated them. And I'm moving on. I rewatched Mank. Half star better. Still don't like it. 2.5 stars. We're not gonna get into that. You can listen to it on a podcast like 10 episodes ago or something like that. Like it's back there, but we already talked about it. It's still bad. I watched Wolf Walkers. That shit was amazing. My wife cried for the whole damn runtime almost.
Jesus.
It's solid. I think it's gonna win Best Anime Picture. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be mad. Promising Young Woman. Not as good as I remember it. I mean, not as good because like I knew what was happening, but like ending still solid as fuck.
Made her dumb.
Watched those a bunch of shitty fucking Brakhage movies. Fuck them all. They all terrible. Goddamn it. I watched a Akira Kurosawa film called Throne of Blood. That movie's fucking awesome. Oh, that was Kurosawa, so what can you expect? It was just dope ass samurai shit.
I love
Like, it was
Kurosawa.
fucking awesome.
You know, okay. Before you jump, I do want to say, out of all the films that you've made me watch, and Seven Samurai is one that I like, an older film that I've actually appreciated, and I do like Kurosawa a lot.
Dude, this shit's dope as fuck. I can't even remember what the story was. I think it's like Macbeth or something like that. Like, yeah, the Shakespeare story of Macbeth, and it's like a samurai's twist on Macbeth.
That's dope.
And this shit was awesome. Like, I was like, this is so fucking good.
That's one of the directors that I've been meaning to watch more of because I really like because he has Yojimbo, right? That's his.
Yeah, Yojimbo, Sanjuro. I mean, it's a solid director, solid movie. I really like Throne of Blood. If you like Kurosawa films, you haven't seen it yet, go watch it.
Honestly,
really
if you
recommend it.
haven't, and I know this sounds weird in Kurosawa, and it probably does sound. If you don't watch films a lot, it won't make sense. But start watching, and I know it's gonna be long, but carve out, a
Carve
Saturday.
out like 4 hours
Yeah,
to
carve
watch
out 4
Seven
hours.
Samurai.
I know it sounds like a lot, but you're gonna enjoy it. It's Seven Samurai. I think it's on HBO Max if you have that.
It is actually. So yeah, I watched that. And I watched these Dwayne box set. It's a continuation of this film I watched like a year ago called 400 Blows. Pretty solid. Last one was like 90% flashbacks, and that fucking sucked. But it was good to watch. I liked the 4 I watched. I watched a movie called Jubilee. Fuck that movie. It's horrible. Punk movements with like Queen of England time traveling. It's fucking weird. I didn't like it. It sucked ass. And then we're gonna go into. I'm just gonna talk about. Sorry, I got a lot.
I was laughing because like we go through all yours, and I was like,
I watched this movie called Schizopolis. My wife spent the entire time going, I get it, and she don't get it. The shit is fucking whack. It has no fucking no reason what it says. Nothing. Just a weird fucking movie.
Okay.
Fun watch though. And then I watched a new movie. It's called Voyagers. I don't know if you guys heard of that. It came out this year. Lord of the Flies in space.
Yeah, I watched it. I was like, I didn't know you were talking about when you said this. I was like, is this in theaters? And you said, yeah. And I was like, what? And I went and looked at the trailer, and I was like, oh, this is why I didn't know about it.
Yeah, God, it has the guy who played Cyclops in the X-Men new ones.
Okay, yeah,
Like a young
I recognize
Cyclops.
the
And it's like these kids are bred to go into space for 87 years because that's how long it takes to do a journey. They have to reproduce on the ship and stuff. And like they take this drug that like dulls their like senses and shit.
the blue water.
Yeah, so that way they're not horny as fuck up there because they're people on a ship. They don't want to have like a fuck ton of kids running around when they're in limited amount of food and shit.
Right.
And they stop taking it.
And then they fuck.
And they start fucking, and it sounds like Lord of the Flies. If you've seen Lord of the Flies, you know what
Yeah.
I mean. They literally has a scene in it where the guy's like, "I am stronger. I will protect you from the alien." Because he
Was there
starts
aliens?
telling, no, there was no fucking aliens.
I'm out.
Like straight up, he makes the alien up to like try to scare people, and I was like, "This is fucking Lord of the Flies."
It is. Wow.
And then like people start getting killed. I will say the way they end the film, the very ending sucks, but the way they
What?
the way they resolve the conflict, I was like kind of happy with it. It's pretty dope.
Okay.
I won't spoil it because new movie, but like it's pretty fucking dope. I
You
could
spoil
see
me
it
after.
coming, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. That's pretty cool. Like I like it. I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fair.
But yeah, it was pretty all right. I mean, it was good for like over half the movie, and then it just started turning Lord of the Flies, and I was like, oh my god, I just want this to end.
Wow.
I've seen Lord of the Flies like twice, so I like Lord of the Flies, but I'm like,
Well, you just know what's yeah. You
yeah,
just
I'm
know
like,
the story.
this is just fucking Lord of the Flies. Like they go to a dark room and they're like, the alien's in there. Ah, he's on the ship.
Like
and I
the
was like,
cave.
yeah, I was like, this is Lord of the fucking Flies. Like this is what this is.
Bro.
One review I saw called it Among Us, but horny.
That's sad. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad.
But yeah, I also had a great milestone. I'm just gonna brag. I know Mytchel doesn't care. I've now seen the first 200 titles in the Criterion Collection. I'm just gonna pat myself on the shoulder right now. Good job, Bryce. It's been a year. You did good. You watched a fourth of the collection. GG.
I just thought you look at me like I know Mitchell doesn't care.
I'm just proud of myself.
That's good. I'm glad.
I suffered through some shitty films, but I made it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean,
Now we get to watch Richard III, but the guy who made Hamlet.
oh, have fun with that, man. It's all you.
I'm just gonna wait for our best picture nights. I'm gonna be like, surprise! We're watching Richard III.
Just be like, and I'm out.
People be like, I'm leaving. If it's anything like Hamlet, I'm like, it's the same guy.
No, that movie was ass.
Anyway, Mytchel, what'd you watch?
Oh, I only watched one film. I watched John Wick. Like I watched 30 films. I got this. I got this. I got this. I watched John Wick. I watched Bing Bing. No, I mean, I don't know. I was just kind of like, I've been wanting to watch John Wick again for a while because it's just been a minute, and I just threw it on for fun. So, John Wick, awesome as always.
Look, 3 hours for Richard III.
3 hours for Richard III sounds about right.
Doesn't it though? For this, I'm sorry. We really hate Laurence Olivier's Shakespeare shit.
Yeah, Hamlet was just not good. It was honestly it was just like it was pissed.
Henry V. I was drunk off my ass and I still hated it.
Wait, okay. Here's the thing about being drunk off your ass, though. You don't even know what's going on. So, like, the fact that you still hate a film after you don't know what's going on, like, that's horrible.
I know. I was like, thing is, I remember like my eyes didn't leave the screen, and I was just sitting there going like, this is fucking awful. Like awful. Like
It's awful.
I was fucking drunk off my ass. I was like over a whole, like I think I almost drank a whole bottle, and I was just fucking over there like drunk off my ass watching this, and I was
You're
like,
gonna get somebody messaging you and being like, "Well, if you were drunk, how are you supposed to watch it? You don't know. You need to watch it again." No, man.
bitch, have you watched it? Because we
Well,
watched
no.
Hamlet sober, and everyone hated it. So I think this guy just sucked at making it. Like he was alright in Rebecca, but this motherfucker sucked at Shakespeare adaptations.
We almost canceled all future movie nights because of Hamlet. No, I'm just kidding.
Hamlet was so bad.
We're never doing this again. Oh, we're canceling all films.
I need to finish the John Wick trilogy with Jada.
I tried watching Spider-Man.
I know you tried. You sent
I
me.
fell
You sent me the
asleep.
clip of him walking, and I was like, again, and you're like, always. I
Oh,
was like, what
always.
the fuck?
Man, I love Spider-Man. It's just like my feel-good movie. I just turn it on when I want to feel good.
I haven't seen that movie in like 4 years.
You don't see Spider-Man in 4 years? I watch it like every year.
I know.
I watch it once every year, maybe even more than that.
I don't get it. I'm like, I watch a movie once, and I'm like, that's good for like a decade.
It's like my first memory of film. That's why. It's like those Spider-Man films are my first memories of film, and that's kind of why it's like a comfort zone for me. Anyways, so that was all we watched for this week. But with that down, let's move on to our Filmverse feature. Each week we pick a movie that we want the other person to see, and this week I chose one of my favorite films from the past, 1980s romance film, Can't Buy Me Love. Bryce, what did you
It's a
think?
lie, by the way. You totally can buy love, apparently.
Actually, yeah, I mean, well, the whole point is you should. Well,
You shouldn't, but you can, and somehow it works.
Buy me love. You know what? You're right. I mean, it works, but somehow
It
you
worked
made
out
work.
for him.
What do you think, Bryce?
That was alright. I mean, like, I don't know. It's reminded me a lot of the Breakfast Club kind of shit, where it's like a typical. I don't want to say typical, but it's a teenage romantic comedy. It has some pretty good moments. Seth Green is in this. For anyone that
Oh my God,
anyone
yeah.
that knows about that, he's like 11, and all I can think about the entire time is that 11-year-old
Made a
in
bunch of.
fucking 18 years was, or not even 18, because like this movie came out in 1985. He was 11, so he's born in 1974. Family Guy came out in 1999. So he was 25 fucking years old
Wow, smooth.
and ended up making Robot Chicken, becoming the voice of Chris Griffin, all this other shit. And I'm looking at this little kid going, this motherfucker's going to be more successful than I am in less than a decade.
I love that.
That's all that went through my head. Like most of the, I just saw his little face would show up on the screen. I'm like, fuck you, kid.
He's a successful motherfucker. That's funny. It didn't hold up as much as what I thought. I mean, it just not like a lot, but it just feels very I don't know. It's losing a bit of its charm from when I was a kid. I don't know why.
I watched some 80s films and I kind of feel that too. There's like a certain, like, some of them hold up really fucking good, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. And then some of them, it's like, after like 20 years, you're like, this shit's not funny anymore.
I feel like it'd be really good if they remade this with like today's modern context.
All the smartphone shit would in it, though. You would have people trash talking him on Facebook as like a pivotal part of the scene. He's like in his room after like after getting blasted at the party, and like he'd be going through Facebook and everyone would be like commenting like, fuck you, Ronnie, fuck you, liar," and he'd just be in there like
Social pariah.
you know what would happen.
No, I know, but I'm just saying,
Social media would be playing a huge part if they remade that.
no, I know it would be, and it would
There's
be.
like-
It'd be interesting to see though.
There's like a certain charm 80s films have, because it's before like the rise of like a lot of technology,
Yeah, exactly.
but like
But still,
the stories are so grounded, but they're still so like relevant to today.
exactly.
But at the same time, you're like, if you remade this today, it probably wouldn't have the same charm.
Right. No, I mean it's different, right? But I'm saying I think just the concept of being able, just like buying into the popular group or in some
I
sort
mean,
of
yeah,
capacity.
that still sits in today. Like, there's
Yeah.
still kids doing that.
Right. I mean, I feel like that could be even. It could be explored today with a new twist on it to make it cool.
You know that this is just a fun thing I learned. It really has nothing to do with it. It just has to do with Back to the Future. If they remade Back to the Future today and he went back in time, he'd only be going back to the 90s.
What the fuck? No.
It's the same time period.
Don't you hate that
30 years in the past would be 1990.
I'm turning 24 soon. I don't like it. Okay.
I just found that kind of crazy. I was like, damn.
We're getting old. Well, Bryce, what film are we going to watch next? What film are we going to watch next week?
The Muppet movie.
Fuck you. No, we're not.
Oh, you're right. I already told you. We're gonna be watching Saving Private Ryan. Oh my God, Saving Private Ryan. Bryce, you can fucking talk.
That's like me. I'm just slippity dippity Private Ryan.
Yeah, but yeah, I know you haven't seen it, and
Nope.
it is an amazing war film. And I watched it last time I saw it. I was 16, so I'm
Ooh,
kind of
wow.
interested to like.
The reason I offered to watch it at my house is because I want to watch it in 4K and like my sound and everything.
No, yeah, I'm good with that. I don't
And I
care.
was just like,
I don't care. I can bring the shit. We can do the podcast at your place.
that'd be exciting.
But yeah, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so down. I'm looking forward to it.
It really fits because I just started watching Band of Brothers too, and like,
Oh, yeah.
it's made by
Is it?
Steven Spielberg,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
and he's one of the directors and like creators in Band of Brothers, along with Tom Hanks. So the shit's like very similar, and it just kind of like it makes me kind of like have chills. I'm like, oh shit.
Isn't Saving Private Ryan the one with that one scene where it's like guts hanging out and that's the beginning scene, right?
They had the beginning scene is D-Day.
D-Day, right? Because they did that at
Which
Sausage
is-
Party.
Yeah, and then I think they had World War II vets go to see the scene in D-Day, and they were in tears because
What?
it was so realistic.
I'm so excited, bro.
It's such a good film. There's like when we watch it, there's one scene in particular that has always stuck with me, and it just it's like burned itself into my mind. And like when we're watching it, I'll be like, that's the fucking scene. Because it's just like even right now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, it still fucking gives me chills. Like it just like fucks me up. I'm like, ugh.
Let's go. I'm so excited. All right, guys. Well, until next week, thank you guys for joining us as we talk a slew of movie news, Can't Buy Me Love, and various pieces of content we watch throughout the week. New episodes come out every Tuesday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications to get updates every time we post. If you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast. Bryce, where can people follow you and your wonderful adventures?
You can find me on Letterboxd at Payne Reviews. There you can like get constantly updated by my movie shit like every other hour. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Payne Loves Cinema and Twitter at Sanguine Films.
And if you want to stay connected with moi, you can simply follow me on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and on Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews. And remember, Mitch and Mytchel is spelled with a Y, so that's Mytchel.
Can I just say I actually made this
Sure.
entire podcast without forgetting my cues.
You did, I know. It was nice. I noticed that. I
Gang,
was
gang,
like,
go Bryce!
Let's be excited about that. I know, right? Well, that is all for this week, our fellow cinephiles. And until next time,
Excelsior!